You'll never take me down, puny Rangers.
Oh, boy. Guys, this is Jason. Come in.
Go ahead, Jason. This is Chris.
Oh, we got a bit of a problem. We need you and the rest of the Rangers to come to the command center. But yeah, we've got a oddball request to go along with that. We need you to bring Cyber Rita with you.
Wait, what?
I don't know how to explain this, but Rocky, you are dumb for dropping food on the button.
Jason, let me explain it to them. Reese, Rocky here. So yeah, I might have been eating the meatball sub, and one of them fell onto the portal opening mechanism, and are not looking good.
Rocky, listen.
Yeah?
You've been told not to eat in the control room. You're gonna get done by Dr. K now. I'm leaving that down to Dr. K, or I will get Lisa to do it with you. But at the moment, though, you're in trouble.
Oh, for the love of the morphing grid, not Lisa. I can't afford to be put through any walls.
Well, I'll tell you this much right now. He's demanding to have Cyber Rita. I don't like the sound of him. He's kind of whiny.
Prince, where is my Empress Cyber Rita? Bring her to me.
Is that who I think that is?
Exactly as I planned. You now have no choice but to take me to your command center.
And then what is going to stop us?
Not sure it's such a good idea.
Monkey heads.
I think we should take her in. That's it.
I say blindfold her.
Much to my demise, yeah, we have no choice. Rangers, bring her in.
I think we should blind her first.
I've let Rocky do so many ceilings and floors.
Really? Jack, you don't really have to blindfold her. Teleportation, remember?
Yeah, fine. Don't like it though.
I don't like it either, but it's gotta be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, blind those cyber optics, because that can give her some real trouble.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, guys, let's do this. Let's send her in. I know this is not the way we want to do it as Rangers, but we gotta do it.
No choice. Let's take her in.
I mean, at least we're bringing her. At least we're capturing her.
That's true. Well, I guess that's backdash before it's too late.
Teleporting now.
Yep.
The monster in the background, but this guy somehow managed to penetrate our command center. Welcome, Steve Andrino, also known as the character wearing Baboo.
Correct. Thank you very much
season
for having
2 for a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. Welcome, Steve.
I did not do any of the Zeo. It was just 2 and 3.
Oh, I'm misinformed. I'm sorry about that.
That's all right. That's all right.
Okay. Here's how the show works. This is going to be an extra special show today. It's going to be an hour long. We're going to break this down into 3 different segments. Our first segment is going to be our question is going to be done by a new segment we're calling character questions. These questions, it'll be one question read by a certain character from our podcast in their voice. And now, Steve, I'd like to introduce to you the character. The character voice is going to be our character called Cyber Rita, and it's your mistress. It's a rendition of your mistress. It's going to be read by my wife, the birthday woman, Rebecca.
Well, happy birthday.
What am I going to do with you, Baboo? So my first question. This is as far as you're gonna get it, Chris.
It's okay. You
My
did well.
first
Thank you.
question is when you were playing, did you have to follow the voice or did the voice have to follow your actions?
The voice had to follow me. That
Oh, that's
was the
cool.
same for any shoot. You do the physical shoot first, and then the voice actors go in. They're played the clip, and they have to, voice the dialogue. Now, with any of the other monsters, that was fairly simple process because they had full masks. So it didn't matter what the actor said. Whoever the suit actor was, if they flubbed their line, it wasn't that big a deal because they didn't have to match up to anything. They just had to deliver the lines as written. Baboo,
Oh,
however, as you can see from the picture, if you don't remember, it's an open face mask. So I had to actually deliver the lines as written, and then Dave Mallow, who was the voice actor, had to actually sync up to the way I delivered the line.
Awesome.
huh. I wonder why that is.
Okay. So we also have. I also want to introduce our special guest panelist. Is from the Zionizer podcast. Z1, welcome. And if you want, you can ask your question now, or you can reserve for later.
I'll reserve for later. You guys got a lot of good questions. I don't know if I'll get.
Excellent. All right, so we'll reserve your question for later. All right, by show of hands, who is next, please?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm used to following orders. What can I say?
Okay, whoever wants the next question, please raise your hand by clicking your icon.
Oh,
This icon, Shelley.
Okay,
cool.
Ruby, you had your hand up first. So
I
go
was.
right ahead.
Okay, I was just showing. Hi.
Hi.
I'm going by order here, so you got your hand up first. Go
I
ahead.
know. Hi. You're awesome.
Well, thank you for the question, but I appreciate it greatly.
So, how did you do you have any advice for people for voicing villains?
For voicing villains, interesting. Again, I didn't do the voice, but my recommendation or my suggestion would be this: go somewhere different with it. Be as crazy as you want. Be as over the top as you can be. Anytime you're acting in anything, it's a lot easier to bring somebody down than it is to lift them up. They can say, it's a little too much. Let's back off a little bit, or let's bring volume down, or let's not as gravelly, not as screechy, whatever. It's hard to tell somebody you want more of something and have them understand exactly what more they want.
Been there.
Shelly had a hand up.
Hello.
Hello.
What was it like playing Baboo? I've always just too cool.
In terms of being in the costume, or in terms of the character?
In
Both?
general.
In general. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. The suit was very hot. That's one of the questions I get asked a lot. What was it like wearing the suit? The suit's all foam rubber and then latex paint on top of it, so it does not breathe. It gets very hot in the suit. Again, because Baboo had the open face, normally when we would shoot a scene just before they yelled action, they would put the heads on the monsters and then yell action. And once they yelled cut, unless we were going right back to the starting point and filming the shot again, they would say, pull the heads. Well, Baboo doesn't do that because I had all face makeup. I could breathe, I could see pretty well, but they didn't want to smear the makeup taking the head on and off all the time. So I had 6 inches of foam rubber sitting on my head for hours at a time.
Oh,
But when it finally did come off, when it was time to break for lunch or break for the end of the day, or just we were going to have a long break in between, I would just start raining. Basically.
It would just pour out.
Yes.
Poor guy.
Now, as far as the character, I enjoyed it a lot. I don't think I consciously realized when I first started doing it. Well, actually, let me back up. So the first time they asked me to do the character, I was actually on set as just an extra. As a matter of fact, I was one of the kids in detention with Bulk and Skull in the football episode where they're trying out for the football team.
Oh,
If
is
you
that
remember,
right?
Bulk is running up and down the aisles in detention with the tutu on. I
Oh,
was the
I'm now
kid
I'm
in
sure
detention
you
in the
guys
middle.
you watch your Easter eggs, guys.
Yes, I was the one in the middle, but because that was the only scene that I needed to shoot, and that was actually my own costume, my own wardrobe, I did a lot of sitting around doing nothing the rest of the day, and they actually asked me to try on the costume. Well, I had never seen the show. It had been on for quite a while because that was episode, I want to say 59, next to last episode of season 1. But I hadn't seen the show. I was 25. I had a regular, 9 to 5 job. By the time I got home, the show was already over, and I wasn't thinking about taping a kid show that I really didn't know anything about. But they asked me this is a Thursday, they asked me to try the suit on. It fit fine. Friday, I was back on set as an extra again, but in a different costume. And they called me Monday to say, this is where you need to be on Tuesday. So I really hadn't watched the show. All I know is I'm playing a monster, and I'm thinking, monster, evil, bad guy. And the scene that we shot actually did not end up in the show. It was the scene where Squat and Baboo actually dig up the dark power coins on the beach, which they use to turn monkeys into Dark Rangers. They didn't use the shot, but our scene was just to, scratch at the sand. We got the chest, yay, and celebrate. So I'm celebrating like this and all evil, and they're like, cut. You haven't seen the show yet, have you, Steve? And I'm like, yeah, no, sorry, I didn't have a chance. And they're like, not that kind of monster. Just kind of goofy, happy. I'm like, okay. And for whatever reason, I played it more like a toddler, like a little kid. Yay, we're so happy. And girl that played Squat opposite me kind of fell into that too. Now, Squat was more like that in the first season. Baboo was a little more serious, stood a little more upright, and kept, was doing more belittling of Squat for messing up. And I played it more like it's both of us. Like I've equated it to, Dad's in the driveway trying to fix the car, and you're out there, you want to help. He goes, hand me the half-inch wrench. That's how you're helping. That's Squat and Baboo were.
I'll tell you what, amongst Bulk and Skull, Squat and Baboo were like comedy gold, okay.
Absolutely.
They were real bumblers, but we love those characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to let you know, Elijah's got his hand up.
I did see that, and that's where I was going next.
Hello there.
Hi
I
there.
do have a question from one of the participants who was not able to make it here tonight.
Okay.
Yes. How was it in the Baboo suit, and who was their favorite co-host to work with, or
And
actor to work with?
can you shout out who the question was from, please?
Raphael.
Fireblade.
Okay.
Correct.
Like I said, hard to work. I had the advantage of being able to see better and breathe better. I have worn several of the other monster costumes, not on screen, but for other events. So I've been in Octo Phantom, I've been in Robo Goat, I've been in Invincible Flytrap, I've been in Fighting Flea. So I understand how hard it is to walk and move in all those costumes. So yes, I had a big advantage where I could see, I could breathe much easier. But like I said, being stuck in the head for hours at a time. There was one time we were filming on location in Griffith Park in LA where I did get stuck in the costume.
Oh no.
Now, this was the original Sentai costume, so it had been sitting in a box for God knows how long.
Wow.
Because of that, they needed to patch and paint the costume the night before we were going to shoot so it would be camera ready.
Huh.
Well, over the course of the day of shooting, it would start, paint would rub off, it would tear a little bit here and there. But stuff like that you're not going to really see. Well, they had a big hole in the right wrist of the costume that they had patched the night before. The whole costume was one piece except for the head and shoes. So I literally have to step into it, stick my arms all the way in, and somebody zips it up in the back, and then zip the shoes on and put the head on. Well, I had to fight to get my hand into the costume because the patch was too tight. And I said, hey guys, just a heads up, this patch is really tight. I'm afraid when I go to get out of the costume, it might rip. And they were like, okay, Steve, thanks for telling us. You can't get out of the costume now. What do you mean I can't get out of the costume? They're like, we're on location. We don't have any way here to fix it or do anything to it. So you need to keep it on. And I'm like, okay, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. We're going to be here till 5 in the afternoon or later. Silly question. What if I have to go to the bathroom? And their answer was,
definitely a cosplayer's worst nightmare. I'm telling you.
I said, their answer was try not to. And I'm like, okay. Well, thankfully I was sweating so much I didn't have to. Literally, what would happen is they just unzipped the back, and I would sit hunched forward, and they had a big industrial fan plugged in and blowing on me, so I would stay cool.
Wow.
All right, so I sat there, filmed, and then sat back down. All of a sudden, it's lunchtime.
Nice.
Now, anybody remembers the fingers on the Baboo costume? The nails are about 2 inches long with foam.
Mm-hmm.
Not very good for picking up a knife and fork to be able to eat.
No.
I said, guys, I can't even eat. I can't feed myself. What am I supposed to do now?
Right.
And their answer was, get one of the PAs. That's their job.
I hear you.
I literally had a PA
Joseph will have the next question coming up. Sorry, Steve.
Oh, no, that's fine. That's fine. So that was the only time, thankfully, and that's you start to really appreciate. Yeah, I like to be able to get in and out of this thing whenever I need to.
Right. Okay, Joseph, go ahead with your question. You were next with your hand up.
Yes, Mr. Andrino, I know that you actually attended my alma mater of Rensselaer Polytechnical Institute, or as we in the business know it.
Okay.
A New Yorker, a fellow New Yorker, I see.
Well, I'm originally from
I also saw that you went in to study engineering. At what point did your love interest switch from engineering to acting? And second of all, how was it getting the lead in Mr. Zero in the adding machine?
Okay.
Good question.
The love for engineering, and I went in as a chemie, was not really there. I didn't know what I wanted to do out of high school and was basically told, you're good in math and science, so I'm an engineer. And I went, okay. Because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't act in high school at all. I didn't try out for any of the school plays because it never interested me. My thinking was at the time, as a 16, 17-year-old high school kid, anybody can act. That's easy. Why do I want to do that? Although I did enjoy doing when we would do readings in English class when we were reading Shakespeare or other plays in class, I did enjoy doing that. Going to RPI, took about 2 weeks for me to realize I was about a month behind. And this really isn't for me. I don't need to be here. And one of the kids, fellow students I made friends with, comes knocking on my dorm room door and says, hey, they're doing auditions for the school play tonight. Why don't you come on down? And I'm like, Ron, I haven't acted. I don't do that. He goes, no, come on. It'll be fun. I said, fun? I'll go to a frat party. I want to go have some fun. He goes, no, come on down with me first. Just read, and then we'll go to whatever frat party you want afterwards. So I'm like, all right, that's fair. Went down, read for the part. Okay. We left. We went to the frat party. Next night, I go to another frat party. I'm walking back from the frat party, and I have to pass by the theater, and I am not in complete control of my faculty, shall we say. I pop my head in, I don't know why, just to see what's going on. And the director goes, oh, Steve, good, I'm glad you're back. I need you to read again for this part. And he hands me the script, tells me what scene we're doing. I sat down and in about 30 seconds realized I need to go real fast. Made a beeline for the bathroom. Threw up everywhere because I was
drunk. Oh, no.
Cleaned myself off as best as I could. Walk out, go back up on stage, read the scene, done. That's about all I remember. The next morning, Then hit on my door. I'm like, what
Uh-oh.
the heck?
There you go.
I'm like, what? My friend Ron, Steve, get up. What, Ron, what, man? I'm not feeling good. I want to. He goes, no, dude, you got the lead in the show. And I'm like, no, I did not. Stop. Look, no, seriously, you got the lead. About 5 minutes into this, I finally said, look, you know what? Okay, joke's on me. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna go down there with you. We're gonna read it and find out that it was a joke on me. And I ended up with the lead in the show.
You were proven wrong. There you go.
Yes, I was very wrong.
Okay,
happily so after all this time.
I got 2 more people with their hands up, and then we're gonna take our first break.
Okay.
But first, right now, we're going to Alex. He's got his hands up, and then we'll finish off with Z1.
Okay.
Alex, go ahead with your question.
So, what caused you to start the Baboo monster reviews?
So I did a convention about 4 years ago, Power Morphicon Express. It was the only time they did it outside of the LA area. They did it in Pasadena, Texas, which is about 25, 30 minutes from me. Found out about it like 2 weeks before the show, shot a quick email, and they said, hey, can I come down and be a guest at the show? And I said, yeah, we'll get you a table. Well, because I was such a last-minute addition, there were no tables left in the celebrity row. I was actually the first table in the artist row. And I got friendly with a couple of the artists there, Matt Frank and Gaz Gretzky, and both of whom were artists. Matt does kaiju, Godzilla type art. Gaz does some of that too. And I just started joking around about, hey, monsters need love too, And then it grew into more of a, well, the monsters are really the stars of the show. Forgot about it for a while. Then I started using that when I signed autographs. That's kind of my slogan on them. Monsters need love too. And then as the 30th anniversary came up and they kept talking about doing once a Ranger, always a Ranger. And I'm like, there's a lot of Ranger channels out there, but I don't know of any. I haven't found any that focus specifically on the monsters.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I need to do this. And it's been, I couldn't tell you how long since I've seen the episodes, including the ones I was in. So I said, I'm just going to start at the beginning. Season 1, episode 1 of Mighty Morphin, and I'm going to start doing a review of the show, do my talk over while the show's going on, focus more on the monsters, on the costumes themselves, on how successful they were in almost defeating the Rangers, the plans, the look of the costumes, whatever. And I just enjoy doing it.
Awesome, Mark. Z1, you're going to finish off the segment. Go ahead with your question.
All right, appreciate it, man. Also, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
You're most welcome.
My question is, what was your most memorable moment on set?
Okay, easy one. Most memorable moment was in the episode Beauty and the Beast, where they turn Kimberly into Rita. She's got a full costume on, and she's got Rita's staff, but she still is Kimberly. Well, the blocking call for her to act like Rita, and she takes a staff and she goes and shakes it at Goldar, who's in front of her. Squat and Baboo are behind her. And for some reason, she decides to turn around and do kind of and you too. And she actually broke Rita's staff over my head.
Oh no!
Now,
no!
Whatever the handle of the staff was made of, the piece on top, the round piece, is just styrofoam. And again, we were on location. She does this, and literally it's and you, oh my God, are you okay? The piece caught his floor, and I'm like, AJ, I've got 6 inches of foam rubber up here. I didn't feel a thing. Then all of a sudden, there's this panic of, what do we do to fix this? We're on location. I don't know that we have whatever. So they get the art department out. They come out. They take the staff. They grab a couple of toothpicks off of the craft services table and then just stick the styrofoam back on top of the staff and hand it back to her and say, "Don't hit anybody again." And that's
Nice. Awesome. All right, so here we are at the end of the first segment. we're going to have more with Steve Andrino, and Elijah is going to be our co-host for the second half. He's going to, or for the second segment, he's going to run that next one. So, with that being said, we're going to take a pause so we can put in our sponsor, and we'll be right back with more with Steve Andrino and the Multiverse Rangers podcast.
Sweet.
The Multiverse Rangers, we are here because we are going to be looking into this new product that's out there that we've been advertising for a good month, a good few episodes now. It's called W Energy. It's awesome stuff. It's not only an energy drink, they also have a hydration line. They got swag, all kinds of stuff. It's awesome stuff, man. I got some Monkey Madness, which is the hydration line. I know a few of these Rangers got some stuff in there themselves. Show them, Shelly.
Well, I've got the pushing punch.
Right, yeah, you got the push and punch, right? That's Lisa's favorite drink.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Chris has got
definitely.
Monkey Madness, where he goes all mad all over the command center all the time.
Hey, you find a few banana peels, you let me know.
Well, we always find banana peels everywhere we go.
Like, we find them everywhere in the
Every time
lookout.
he drinks that Monkey Madness, I see banana peels nonstop. Even Ben and Betty are complaining about it.
Hey, I can make a good
I don't know
smoothie.
about Alex. Though, but does Alex see any banana peels every time when he goes round?
You never know.
I'm not inside the base when it happens. I normally train outside.
Well, I mean, when you're going into your range, do you see any banana peels around because of a monkey boy here, Chris?
Yeah.
And if you know, I know
I've only seen a couple.
I know Lisa's
I've only seen
always
a couple.
wanting to
Let's be honest. I've
push
only seen a couple.
people through a wall, so push and punch. It would make sense why that's her favorite.
Yeah,
My
that is
sister-
a favorite.
No wonder my sister's been training these rookies nonstop and put it to every single one. I have to pay for it.
Oh, shut up, you hothead.
Obviously.
Look who's talking.
Well, except me, of course.
Give it a
Well,
rest.
excuse me, hang on a minute. Alex has put me through a wall a couple of times, though, but one thing is, I've been through more walls than anything else.
Yeah, but I'm the only one that's put you through walls, though, besides any monster.
I don't know, man. You know who's been put
Tell
through
me
a
I'm wrong.
once or twice. I'm trying to make sure these knuckleheads just coming over, if you know what I mean.
It's true.
All right.
Oh man, it's been a good day so far. Let's
Just
try to keep it that way.
right.
It's been pretty chill.
Yeah, but how do we find all these products? How do we find them? And is there a promo code?
Well, for the W products, yes, there is a website. You go to www.w.gg and you take a look at all the inventory they got, all their swag. Check out. When you go to checkout, enter the promo code PR Multiverse, all caps, no spaces. You get 10% off your purchase every time.
And they've got a lot of cool shaker bottles and stuff too.
Yeah, and I've noticed so that our Ghost Spirit hero is wearing a merch shirt.
Oh yeah, we probably should tell Hero to start descending and start giving away our shirts.
Yeah.
Gesundheit, Hero. Oh wait, does Ghost?
Hello, everybody. I'm back.
That was me, not him.
I don't know.
I'm back from the Great Beyond, and I have some exciting news concerning our merch. First off, we have our standard T-shirt, which has all of your favorite Rangers on it, especially Lisa. Everybody loves Lisa.
Not everybody.
Hey,
you
don't be jealous.
You went out with her, so you shouldn't be talking, Hero.
Back with the second segment of the Multiverse Power Rangers podcast with our very special guest, Steve Andrino, also known as Baboo from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, seasons 2 and 3. And we're going to start our second segment with another character question.
Was there more show?
Huh?
Was
there more? Was there more to that? I'm sorry. Was there going to be more
to that?
I said I'm sorry if I cut you off.
Yeah, oh, I don't know whose turn. Oh well.
Okay, we're gonna actually hold here, and we're gonna take our second break so we can place in our second commercial. And we're gonna come back with the final segment with Steve Andrino and the Multiverse Rangers podcast. So stick around. What's going on, Rangers? This is Chris, the Gold ZT Ranger for the Power Rangers Multiverse Rangers, but I'm also known as the Red Ape Ranger in Season 1. So we're here for Dubby, which is they have a bunch of different energy drinks, and they also have a hydration line. Flavors are awesome. We're telling you, this is some good stuff here. What can I tell you? We're sitting here. Yeah, you got Shelly back there who's got hers. She's got some good stuff there. What you got there, Shelly?
I got the push and punch.
Pushing punch energy. That is awesome. I've got Monkey Madness from the hydration line, and of course, look at these cool shakers they come out with, man. This is just an example of the white ones, but they've got colors, they got clear, they got all different kinds of shakers and all different swag and stuff available from them. Check it out. If you guys go to w.gg and you put in your order, put down for a promo code PR Multiverse, all caps, no space. You get 10% off your purchase every time. Go.
Hey, Monkey Boy. Hey, Monkey Boy. What else have you got?
What else have I got?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sitting here, like I said, I'm sitting here with some Monkey Madness right here. This is my.
Monkey Madness goes well with you.
Hey, Rias.
That's my go-to right there. Some good hydration stuff right there.
What was
Hey,
that?
Rias. This is Andros. Rias, come in.
Yeah.
Is everybody present and accounted for in the base?
Why?
We got 2 bogeys coming in.
Oh no!
I don't know if they're friendly or foes.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Not those.
Oh. Andros!
Hey, check it out, Skull. The geeks are talking about their energy drinks again.
Yeah.
hey, but they never offered us one. How about we have some of that Monkey Madness there, geek?
Yeah.
Numbskulls, maybe we would offer you some if you didn't steal them in the first place.
Well, if you never offered them to begin with, we didn't have to take them and steal them.
Exactly.
That's what he said.
Bulk.
Reverse logic.
The geeks to talk.
Hey, Bulk. This is Lisa. The worst nightmare. You want to go for a walk?
I'm backing away.
This geek really wants to put me into a wall after I offered her so many sandwiches. Oh well. Hey, how about you give me your energy drink and we'll call it a day.
That's okay. You got any of that push? You got any of that energy drink for me, please?
Yeah, I got plenty of push and punch.
Thank you.
Pushing what?
Punch and punch.
Lisa, you need a hand over there dealing with the 2 numbskulls?
Hey, was somebody explain to me who invited these 2 buffoons?
I don't know, Rat. I don't know if we invited these 2 buffoons.
Better yet, do they know they can just go to the website, just put a 10% discount?
Right? Go to w.gg. You guys know how to do that, Bulk, Skull. Don't you guys know how to use computers? I'm not really smart here, Bulk.
Chris.
I guess we can just try to hey, Numbskull, go get us a computer.
You know what? You know what? Why don't I just go and get their drinks off of the website? That'd be easier. So what? So for that, use our promo code Multiverse.
And where did you see that?
Hold it. Let's get moving.
W.com, right?
W.GG, honey.
Huh?
W.GG, my love.
Dolby.gg.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's the
It's
actual
the
website.
Power Rangers. Get the buddies.
Goldar, whoa! Time.
It's Marvin time.
Gold Ranger power.
What?
It's Beast power.
Okay, guys, we gotta get going. We gotta deal with this monkey. We gotta deal with this golden Baboo and the Putty Patrol.
Business to take care of.
You gotta roast us some angry turkeys.
Hey, Skull, did those geese just turn to Rangers?
What do you? Yeah. Uh-oh.
Let's film this before it's too late.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys are in big trouble.
No, it's time to go. It's time to go, Wookie.
Buddies, get those two numbskulls.
Time to go, guys.
Hey, Goldar, take some power punch.
Tiger Beast.
Feel some of my monkey madness.
All right, guys, we got things to go. So let's go. Let's get it sorted out.
Ladies and gentlemen of the multiverse, we are back again with the fabulous Steve Andrino, also known as Baboo from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Season 2 and 3. And this is the third segment and our final segment with Steve. So first and foremost, I want to thank him for joining us on our show today.
My pleasure, guys. My pleasure.
So I'm gonna take the first question on this one, and then I will pass it off to Bakugo for the next one, and then we'll go from there. Steve, we know that you are attending Ranger Stop and Pop in Orlando, Florida next month in Orlando. I'm pretty sure you're excited about that. Whom are you most excited to meet out of the panel and out of the cast members that are attending alongside you?
Oh, okay. Most excited to meet. Again, I've met quite a few of them at other shows, but Barbara Goodson. I got to meet the voice behind my Empress.
Like I said, she's a beauty, man. A real peach.
She loved my voice. She loved it. She loved it. She said I had an accent, but she loved my voice. It was great. I have a smile. It's huge.
Always good to get compliments from people at the top of their craft.
Exactly. So, whom are you most excited to meet, though?
Trying to think. I'm actually excited to meet most of the new cast, the Dino Rangers. I'm curious to see what brought them into wanting to become Rangers and how long they watched the show and what really got them to audition and try out for it. I'm interested to hear that from the newer actors.
Absolutely. We are curious to find out about that. Okay, so all right, we're gonna take the next question from Bakugo. Go ahead.
This isn't Bakugo.
I know. I'm sorry. What's your name, my boss?
I got a question.
Go ahead.
The one question is, will you help me take over the multiverse? And what is your favorite villain you've ever been?
My favorite one I've ever been, of course, is Baboo, just because that's what I've done the most. But yeah, I mean, I'm down. Like I said, I helped Rita, I helped Zed. I'll help anybody do anything they want because I'm just that nice of a monk.
So Rangers, keep your multiverse safe. That might be good.
All right. Thank you very much.
Love it. That was really good.
That was very good, actually. Shelly, you were next behind Bakugo in the last segment, so go ahead and take the question.
Yes. I'm from my
They're fine.
Okay. So When
Take your time.
what was the biggest thing that you took away from playing the character of Baboo? And
biggest thing I took away from it is that is to have fun with it. Acting, it can be a job. It is a job. It is work. It's something you have to work at. It's something you have to keep up with. But if you're not having fun doing it, it's gonna come across that you're not. You can't be a real bad guy if you don't enjoy doing it. It's going to come across as flat. It's going to come across as disinterested. Think about a bad guy again. It's got to be big. It's got to be over the top. It's got to be something that's going to make people sit up and go, "Whoa!" If you're not enjoying doing it, it's not gonna come across right. It's not gonna.
Okay, thanks for that. Elijah and then Jisoo next. Go ahead, Elijah.
All right. So my question is, for the suit, did you have full range of motion, or did the suit cut off your motion? And also, if there was a chance for you to be able to play Baboo voice and the bodysuit, would you have taken that?
Oh, absolutely. Second question first. Absolutely. I don't know that I would necessarily have taken the voice in the direction that Dave did. And in actuality, I didn't watch the show first to even know what the voice of the character was, but through some divine / acting intuition, I think it worked. I think I ended up playing it pretty much like the voice was. First part of the question, I had pretty good range of motion. Again, it's easier because I could see. If you go back and watch the shows now, like especially Goldar and Lord Zed, could not see at all. You'll see them shuffle more than actual take steps. They're sliding their feet so they know, like especially when Zed was going up and down the balcony steps, he was walking very gingerly because it was a concrete floor underneath, except for where the steps were. And yeah, he didn't want to fall in that suit. Although it was, foam rubber latex, it wasn't added like that to protect. So if he fell, it was going to hurt. So yeah, not all of them had his full range of motion. I think I did pretty much. Only thing again would be grabbing things because of the nails on the costume was the hardest part.
All right, Joseph, Jisoo, go ahead.
Mr. Andrino, at what point did it register with you that you were going to become part of something that was going to be lasting for 30 years?
I knew I was part of something big once I first started doing it. Like I said, I filmed towards the very end of season 1 for an episode that I ended up not appearing in. But even at that point, that was in April, May, somewhere around there. So the show had been on for quite a while, and everybody knew how big the show was. So I knew it was going to be something that I wanted to keep as much of as I could. I kept all of my sides and call sheets that I remembered to get. Sides are, okay, so call sheet. This is a call sheet.
Okay.
And it's maybe hard to see, but it has, the time that you need to be on set, the episodes we're shooting, the characters that are going to be in it, the scenes that we're shooting. And then attached to this, sides are the actual parts of the script that we're shooting that.
Huh.
And if it's a scene that if that page happens to include something that's not being filmed, they put the extra. Okay. So anything like this was something that we had to film that day with the characters that were there. So I kept all of these thinking this is going to be cool. I want to be able to show my kids and now grandkids this is what I did. I don't think if you told Saban 30 years ago that the show would still be going on 30 years later, he would have believed it. So I don't think anybody had the idea it was going to be as big for as long as it has been. But I will say that from the time I became Baboo, it took me about 4 months to find one of these.
Wow.
Because the mid-range toys were in stock, they sold out. You can actually see here the original price tag on it.
Oh, wow.
So it was what, $14.95.
$14.95, still in package.
I happened to find that not in like a big toy store like a Toys R Us or a KB toy store like that. I found in a little mom and pop independent type toy store that just happened to have a couple of Power Ranger figures. And I don't even know why I walked in, but I did. And I'm like, somebody's got it, thank you. I went out and grabbed it because I can say, look, this was me. And I do bring that with me to all the shows. I don't have a helmet, and I haven't had somebody recreate the mask. So for pictures and stuff like that, I'll hold up the figure.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's cool.
Yeah.
Next question. I see Zoe has his hand up, but which one are we answering? Which one's calling in here?
This is the Ranger version.
Okay.
My name's Bakugo. Go by Bakugo.
This is Bakugo now. Here we go.
I go by Bakugo. Oliver Kwan. My parents are Tommy Oliver and Pretty Kwan.
Tommy and Trini. Yep.
My one question is, of any of Rangers from my family or any part of the Rangers, who would you rather have your own Ranger? Who would you team up with if you had the chance to make your own character Ranger?
Interesting. Kat Sutherland played Kat on the show because she was a bad guy first.
Okay.
Okay.
Simple yet the easiest, I tell you.
Yeah, I mean, I
Hey, Rachel, you got anything you want to add?
Least too.
Oh, put me right on the spot now. I'm gonna think.
Well, you were pretty quiet. I had to do something.
If your character Baboo came back, what season, what episode would he come back in?
What season would I come back in? Interesting. Again, because I was a henchman, I can work with anybody. I don't have the ego where I need to be in charge. Although, I think if I had been in charge, I might have been able to come up with some interesting ideas on how to defeat the Rangers. I mean, Shell Shock wasn't a bad monster. But I could see myself working for Evox, for Beast Morphers.
Okay.
Working with Roxy and Blaze. Yeah, I think I would have enjoyed that.
Nice.
Wow.
All right. Anybody else have any questions?
I have one more.
Go ahead.
This is the Ranger side. Kino Rose. Her parents, I remember, is Kimberly Hart and Jason Lee Scott. And so my question is, if you created your own villain, not Baboo, what Ranger parents would you pair up for your own villain character?
Well, it's funny because I did film an episode for a show where we did create a new villain, which was actually a character by the name of Bonobo, the Demon King, who was the child of Baboo and Scorpina. Now, there was an episode where Baboo makes a comment about he wishes Scorpina would stop stinging him in the head. Well, the backstory I came up with for this character was that Baboo, having seen how well a love potion worked on Lord Zed for Rita, I was trying to brew one up just so Scorpina would stop picking on me. And it worked a little too well. So we had a child, and actually the way the suit was designed, it was literally down the middle. It was half blue fur and half gold spiky armor. Really cool look. Like I said, it was for a show called Power Rangers Master Force. Unfortunately, although it was filmed and there's actually trailers online, and I believe it actually is one on my IMDb page, it has never been actually released, and at this point, I don't think it's going to be. I mean, the plan was to do it as a series and do this. I flew in to film for a weekend. Really enjoyed it. Really liked the character. Unfortunately, nothing came of it, but that's acting too. You try things, you do things, get involved in as many projects as you can because you don't know which one is going to hit, which one is going to make it, which one is going to capture an audience. Just like it took Saban 5 years to sell Power Rangers to a network.
Damn,
And
5
the
years.
Grace sold Power Rangers to Fox. Fox had just come up with the Fox Kids brand. He sold them, I believe it was the X-Men cartoon, but somehow he had the rights to at that point. And Fox said, well, that's great, but what else have you got? Like I said, he had tried for years to pitch Power Rangers to the networks, and he kind of gave them a, well, here, I've got this, take a look at it. And Fox, because they needed content to fill up this new Fox Kids after school from, 3 to 5 or 3 to 6, whatever it was, said, all right, we'll give it a try. Because we're not, it's superheroes, it's boys and girls, it's dinosaurs, it's Transformers. Yeah, it's a little bit of everything. Let's just throw it out there and see if the kids like it. Well, 3 years later, here we are.
All right. I'm gonna have Z1 give one more question, and then I'm gonna close off this segment with Steve giving the opportunity to ask one of us or any of us a question of his choosing.
Ooh.
So
Okay.
So Z1, go ahead with your question, and then we'll go with that segment next.
Awesome. By the way, it's been awesome. So this is actually, before I get my question, actually my first interview with actual Ranger actor, villain, excuse me. But in your honest opinion, seeing how Marvel had the opportunity to bring over Super Sentai to America, but they told Stan Lee no to violence. In your honest opinion, Saban never brought Power Rangers over to America. Marvel did it. In your honest opinion, how successful would Marvel be to operate that license?
I'm going to say not as successful, and here's why. Marvel would have done it with a lot bigger budget. Marvel would have tried to gear it a certain way. I think part of the charm and appeal of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was one, again, it was like nothing else out there, and I don't know that Marvel would have kept it looking like that. I think they would have tried to integrate it more into what was already there. And secondly, because it was so low budget to start, because nobody knew how successful it was going to be, I think that allowed us to do things with a lot more freedom, with a lot more, let's try this and see what happens, as opposed to, it's got to follow this formula. Okay. I don't think it would have been as successful.
Okay, Steve. All right. Now, this is your opportunity to ask any of us a question of your choosing.
This is going to be a more general question, and I can't ask you who your favorite monster is, because I know you're all going to say Baboo. So that's just my question, though, to everybody is: what got you into? What was the hook for you guys with the Power Ranger franchise? What got you into, like, oh my God, this is the coolest thing ever?
Okay, with that said, everyone's going to answer the question one at a time. We'll start from the top and go with. We'll start with the first hand raised. We'll go with Zoe Bakugo. We'll go on from there.
So my first everything thing. It's actually two of them, because one, I grew up with you. It was one of my favorite villains. But the second one, I'm gonna have to say Rita. My second one. Rita.
Yep.
That's the one that brought me into everything was Rita. Her character and yours, the way y'all two bounced off each other, was the one that got me in touch with Power.
Okay.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Ruby, you're next.
Okay.
Your answer.
My answer, I was born in 91, so I started from like when it started. So I was like really small, and when I was older, I went back and watching the Mighty Morphin and onward, and I still love it to this day. And I don't have a favorite villain, but one of my favorite villains is gotta be Baboo.
Thank you.
Well, there's the bias in the group. Not just kidding.
Hey! Ow!
Becky, what's your answer?
Oh, okay. First of all, I started with my husband. My husband's a big Power Rangers super fan. So I got to know his friends, which are all these beautiful people. And then they introduced me to doing Rita, and I tried it, and then ever since then I've been addicted to the podcast.
Awesome.
Okay. Christy, what is your answer?
I grew up watching the show, and my favorite villain is Rita.
Okay, Rita Repulsa. All right. Elijah, what's your answer?
All right. the reasoning behind why I got into the Power Rangers franchise to begin with would be because of the whole you don't need to battle on your own. You have a team to do that with you. The whole teamwork aspect, the whole family aspect of it got me into it, and I haven't looked back. I've been watching it ever since.
Yeah, that has been a huge message from the beginning. Matter of fact, I want to say it was the second or third episode of the series ever was entitled Teamwork.
Especially
Yes, that was
especially when
episode
they were getting Tommy Oliver to join the team. But when he was green with evil, the first portion of it.
Yep.
Joseph, Jisoo, your answer.
Where do I begin? What got me into it? Well, I guess you could say I got into it when I was around 6 years old. My babysitter at the time turned on the TV, and the show that she turned on, it was Power Rangers. I believe it was the episode in Mighty Morphin labeled Two Heads Are Better Than One.
Okay.
That's what started off. I mean, I wasn't a big fan of the Tengus. I just thought they were kind of clunky looking. Whereas the putties were more streamlined, more agile looking. But then as things went on, I guess I kind of fell in love with the show by the time Turbo came around. Turbo is what made me fall in love with the show, and I haven't looked back since. And I also enjoyed the family aspect of it as well.
Oh, definitely.
Okay, cool. Alex, Bruce, you're next. Your answer.
Actually, I'll let Rachel do hers, and then I'll go after her.
Okay, Rachel, go ahead.
My first one was when Zordon bought with Jason and all that lot in from the very beginning when it first came out in '98. That's when it came out, and I've been addicted to it, and I watched every single one, every single season, and that.
Well, what got you into the podcast, Rachel? What got you into the podcast?
Because one thing is so that one of our members who's not here right now, he's doing personal business, he done a shout out on TikTok, and I stepped up, and then this is how we came up with the Power Rangers multiverse ring. And then I grabbed all the others in.
Had you been acting before that, or this is just something you decided to try?
I have done a bit of acting in the past, but then that went down. So let's just do it with voice.
Alex, did you want to go next, or did you want Okami to answer next?
I'll let him go next.
Okay, Okami, go ahead. You're with your answer.
What got me into this franchise? One, big robots. Transformers robot. And the year I was in the mid-90s. I was born in the mid-90s. And then it would be season 3 of Mighty Morphin when it came out.
95?
Yep.
23.
And ever since the show that got me hooked, the series that got me hooked was In Space.
Yeah.
All right. C1, you had your hand up.
Oh, yes, I did. I guess what got me started was my mother. My mother got me started, and I'm an '80s baby, so I mostly grew up with Ghostbusters, the animated series, and she got tired of watching Ghostbusters, so she didn't want me to develop a supernatural, believing in ghosts kind of concept. So she was just scrolling through TV one day, and she saw, I think it was season 2, not season 2, episode 2, and she just called me over, started watching with her, and I got hooked. So I owe that for her. My favorite villain, I'm not going to sit there and lie. As a kid, I hated the villains. I hated each and every one of them. It wasn't until my teen years that I started to understand that villains are even more cooler. So my favorite villain, no offense, my favorite villain is Korak from Mystic Force.
Okay. Gotcha.
All right, Ruby, your hand is still up. Did you have another answer?
I forgot to add to something I said earlier. Well, I got into the broadcast. What I remember, I remember this was in Discord, And I remember Chris, not Chris, Alex, or I forgot. I think it was you.
Elijah.
Yeah,
Elijah.
Elijah. One of those Elijah saying, "Hey, we're looking for people to voice characters in the
I remember
broadcast
that
and
day.
everything." You remember that day?
That day.
And I was like, I'll do it. Pick me. I'll do it.
She literally DMs. She's like, me.
Like, it's like,
hand raised.
if you didn't want to just DM me and I just message you, it's like, pick me. I'll do it. And I got nervous at first, and my friend on Discord and them helped me to come out of my shell, and I'm now used to playing villains and also doing heroes. So I want to thank you guys for helping with that as well. And that's how I got into broadcast. And only thing I can remember in Mighty Morphin is Sword saying when I was little.
Okay. All right. Alex, besides me, you're the last one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I got into the entire franchise from, I would have to say, since I was a baby in '95. But I fully got hooked into like the whole aspect of like working as a team, and then of also being the leader of the team, because the leader got all like the cool technology, the cool battle eye stuff.
Okay.
Awesome. Go ahead. Finish up.
I would have to say, if I had a favorite villain, I would end up having to say it would have to be Lothar.
Ooh.
Okay. Good one.
Very good choice.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, me too.
Fuck you.
And to
Say that.
my
Good choice either way.
and to my answer to the question, Steve, I'm openly admitting to myself to being the oldest super fan. I started watching Power Rangers when the show came out when I was 15 years old. I was a legit teenager. But I was also
the age demographic they were shooting for.
Right. I was also before that I was a child of the 80s, and of course I grew up watching Voltron. So my and the Sentai equivalent was Orion. So and I was fascinated with the teamwork and the colors and the combining of the robots and all that. But the monsters on those were spectacular creatures. Now, as far as me with this podcast, we've been out for a little over a year now with having you on and the rest of the other Rangers we have interviewed in the past. This has been an experience of a lifetime for all of us to even come close to meeting people like you and talking to you like that. So it gets us a real honor and a real privilege to say thank you for even being there for the fans, and putting content out for the fans, and letting them know this is your feel on it, your facts on it, and it's an awesome thing. My favorite monster, to answer your question, my favorite monster, I gotta be unbiased though there. I'm gonna have to go with your General Goldar. Okay. Goldar is my favorite because he was huge, he was strong, fierce. But even before he lost his wings in season 1. So
yeah, and Chris, tell them how you got into this.
I got into this. I was recruited through Rachel here. I was doing some TikTok videos. I was dressing up as a disguised Red Ape and Jetty Ranger. I was just doing little stunts, and she found me on a live chat, and we joined, and she asked me to join this cast, and here I am now, a 45-year-old Power Ranger in a group of 12, maybe about 12, maybe more, and four seasons. 4 seasons working right now with stories in there, and it's been a wild ride. It's been a wild ride, and meeting you guys in person at Ranger Stop is also a real thrill. And before I let Becky take her question or whatever she needs to say, I want to make sure you get an announcement out there that
Yeah, he's
Steve
not the
will
oldest.
be.
Let's say that. He's not the oldest. I am. My
She is
children
the
were the ones that were watching it. My children watched it, so therefore I watched it. I fell in
Yep.
love with it. It was
Okay,
so cute.
I correct that then. The oldest fan is my wife,
Gotcha.
but that's
We're
okay.
all
I mean, as for the super fan, I am the oldest super fan.
oh,
Yes.
On the
I
trip.
will say this, having done several conventions
Steve, you're going to
and
be at
meeting
Ranger
other
Stop.
actors.
You're going to be at Ranger Stop convention in Orlando, Florida, November 10th through 12th. Are you just going to be the 10th and the 11th?
I'm just the 11th and 12th. I'm only there
11th
Saturday
and
and
12th.
Sunday.
Okay.
okay.
So go see Steve Andrio out there at Ranger Stop Orlando, November 11th and 12th, and get an autograph, get a shout out from him, do whatever you can, but definitely go by and check this guy. He is awesome. Steve Andrino, thank you so much for showing up to us on the Multiverse Rangers
Yes, thank you
podcast.
so much.
Thank you guys so much.
You are
for
welcome
having
back
me.
anytime. If you find your buddy squat, he's welcome here too.
I would love to get her out to come out to some of the shows for sure. I think having us together at a booth, I think would be amazing.
Absolutely. We like to ask the Rangers to plug your social medias if you have them. So go ahead and
Yes.
plug your social.
Okay, so Facebook, because I'm old, is just Steve Andrino, and then just look for the Baboo icon. Otherwise, you'll end up friending my father, which I don't recommend. For X, the social media formerly known as Twitter, and for Instagram, and for Threads, it's at Baboo Real, BABOO and REAL. And then, of course, my YouTube channel is at The Real Baboo, or just look for it under Baboo's Monster Review.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Reviewing
Also,
the original episode.
special thanks to Z1 from the Zionizer podcast for joining us as a special guest panel today. We thank you very much for having him on the show today as well. Z1, thank you.
No problem. Thanks for having me. This was really awesome. Hopefully one day, with Xenos podcast, we can have a villain or ranger on our end, and you guys are more than welcome to attend.
So shout out to the Zionizer podcast. Go check them out. Like and subscribe to them on their YouTube channel. Also, for the Multiverse Rangers as well, take a look down on the link down the bottom. Like and subscribe us. Keep liking our content. We're gonna try to bring more people like Steve Andrino on our show. So check it out, guys. Until next time, I am the Gold ZT Ranger Chris, and I am taking us out of here. We're gonna get back to action. We got to get Cyber Rita back in that prison cell, and we got to do something here. So everyone,
let's go. We got to get Cyber Rita and Baboo out of here. Let's do this.
So everyone, it's morphin' time.
It's morphin' time.
But remember, monsters need love too.
Fair enough.
That's fair enough.
You're right.
Power Rangers Multiverse Ranger, copyright 2020.
Daddy.
Awesome. Again, I heard what you said, and I greatly appreciate it. As a Ranger actor, we appreciate you guys more than you possibly know. Again, how many other shows are going as strong as they are 30 years later? We don't do that without the fans.
It's the only one I know of.
And having met other actors at other conventions from other shows and other movies, for the most part, people that go to the conventions are nice. They're sweethearts. They enjoy doing it. But the Ranger community as a whole, we consider ourselves one big family. I may never have worked with 90% of the people that are 50% of the people that are going to be at Ranger Stuff. Some of them I haven't met before, but I'm going to be welcomed. I know that. I know they're going to welcome me. I'm going to welcome them. It's going to be, like I said, when I did Ranger Stop, just that one day at my friend's booth, Jason Font and Brendan Mejia came over because they wanted to meet me. They were stars of their seasons. I was a background monster. They wanted to meet me.
But you were not just a background monster. You were an OG background monster.
What I'm saying, true. I wasn't a fighter, but I was a regular monster. But
Steve, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being with us, man. We appreciate you hanging around with us tonight.
Absolutely.
And like I said, If you want to come back anytime and promote more for your show, we can do more questions with you anytime. Just give me a shout and let me know when you feel available.
Absolutely, will do. Thank
All
you
right.
guys again for having me.
You're welcome.
And you have a great evening.
Thank you.